experiment. This is not an empirical thing, but just as a thought experiment here. What kind of a country do you think people who are genetically more predisposed to being criminal would create? Right? People who are in the top 10% of criminality of all people in France. If they had their own country, what kind of a country do you think it would be like? Well, it probably would not be very well run because, again, the people running it, all the people, they're all they have short time horizons. They don't think things through. So it's going to be an incompetently run country in terms of the government. The businesses are all going to be incompetent. It's going to be violent because the people there are violent, low baseline stress levels, and probably a higher level of sociopathy as well. Not probably. I know they definitely will because criminals do have a higher rate of sociopathy. And since everyone is violent around them, violence becomes slightly more normalized or at least less stigmatized than it is, say, in France. And this then creates even more violence. The governments, of course, would be totally corrupt, right? Because the people in the government, they're all criminals too. And they would be more than willing to kill all opposition, and they would be completely unconcerned with abstract principles like human rights and liberty and stuff like that. Haiti, Detroit, St. Louis, Baltimore, the black parts of London, and the whole continent of Africa. What are those places like? Right? Just something to think about when you say poverty explains, the variation in poverty explains the variation in crime.